Have you thought about what is more valuable to you in your business? In person networking, where we could shake hands, look each other eye to eye, or online? Now, OMG stands for online and offline meet and greets. That's both in person and online networking. What do you think is more effective? Certainly, they're both convenient in various different ways. The online is extremely convenient, right? You don't even have to show your camera. It's like talking on the phone. So you might as well use the phone if you're not going to use your camera. So if you're not going to turn your camera on, why bother being on Zoom? Well, I guess if you're in a group setting, that's a whole lot different, right? So there's one reason. But tell me about how you feel about in person meetings, three dimensional, where we can shake hands and look each other eye to eye. How effective really is in-person meetings? Now, it's not possible. If you're in Texas and I'm in Florida, that we could be in the same room together, looking at each other eye to eye, learning about the pros and cons, the differences in each of our businesses, so we could be a better resource for each other and truly be a wonderful joint venture. But here, check out some statistics that you might want to know. Now, Toastmasters International in over 149 different countries, over 100 years now in public speaking and leadership. They've honed down public speaking to three categories, and everything goes around those three categories. The first category is nonverbal. And they say, Toastmasters International, that 55% of all communication, 55%, two of these, is nonverbal. What is nonverbal communication? Gestures. Gestures. That's nonverbal. Gestures are nonverbal. Eye contact is also nonverbal. Looking at the camera, looking at the screen. Looking at the camera, then looking at the screen. Think of the camera when you're in person as the left side of your audience. And think of the screen as the right side of your audience, or vice versa. So now you're glancing at the camera and then glancing at your screen. So if you want to take your eyes and put them in different spots during your presentations, when you're online, look into the camera sometimes and then glance back at the screen. When you're glancing at the screen, we know you're looking at the gallery view, or you're looking at your notes, or you're sharing the screen. But when you look at the camera, you're looking at the audience. Now, if you're in person, how powerful is that? Well, before we get to in person, we were going through the three parts, really, of all communication. So 55% nonverbal, we were mentioning eye contact. And the only way to get eye contact online is to look into the camera. Look in the camera. Then we'll see your eyes. But when you're looking in the camera, you can't see us because you're looking at the camera. Now you look back at the screen, now you can see us, but you're not looking at our eyes. So that right away is a big difference between in-person events. In-person events, if you're not looking in my eyes, you're probably looking at somebody else that walks in the room, at your feet, looking at somebody's shoes, judging a book by someone's pair of shoes, their pocketbook, their tie they have on, clothing, Yeah, online, this is the only thing you see of my clothing. Right? So 55% is eye contact, gestures is a big thing. What else is there in communication? Two other categories. 38% is tone of voice. Tone of voice. Are you in a slow pace? Are you at a fast pace? You're talking way too fast? You're from the Northeast. You talk really fast. You're from the country. You're talking a little slow for me if I'm from the city. Won't even try to compare or attempt or what's better or what's different. But the tone of voice, sometimes tone of voice makes it feel like you're angry or you're happy. So tone of voice could actually upset people. And in your communication, determine how you make your audience feel. 38% is that, according to Toastmasters International, of course. There's other leading public speaking organizations, other experts. So, what's the last component of communication? We covered body language, we covered tone of voice. The last part is the content, the message itself. Would you believe that Toastmasters International, over 100 years in business, they're a nonprofit, by the way. They say that 7% is your content. Meaning you should have more emphasis on your communication, on your nonverbal, 55%, and your 38%, how you make other people feel, how you make them feel welcome. So recognition might be something that you might improve upon in your organizations and companies. How you make people feel, 38%. 7% the content. So what you say is important, the content, but only 7% is effective communication, perhaps? Well, what's your comments in the chat? I love to hear what your thoughts are on those three areas of communication as it relates to when you're online and communicating in a networking event, or when you're offline communicating in a networking event. Now, when you're offline, because of the eye contact and body language makes up 55%, I would say to know, like, and trust, there's a certain feel and vibe that's necessary in person. So that means if you're only meeting online every week, maybe you should change it up a little bit and have a quarterly in person. That means the rest of the time maybe online to save time and gas and traffic and stress. And once a month, in person, if it's the same group. Put your comments in the chat wherever you're seeing this video.